I've had a request from a young man named Link. Link is 6 years old, and he watched my rockhounding videos, and he saw the final finished product, and he asked to see how I run them through the tumbling process to get them so nice and polished. So Link, this is for you. This is a tumbling barrel, and this is coarse rock. You might have seen me gather some of these at Bryan Head. Beautiful agates of different colors. But look how coarse they are. Very coarse. I have these wet so that you can see them a little better. And this one I cut with a tile saw because it was big and I wanted to be able to run it in this tumbler. This tumbler is a 4-pound tumbler, which means I can put approximately 3 pounds of rock in it. You want to fill the barrel, this is called a barrel, about 2/3 of the way full with rock. And then you add water, okay? So I don't know if you can see the water in there or not, but I've added water. So these rocks are all rough. These are agates. And why are they called agates? Because they're translucent. Let me show you. If you shine a light through these, you'll see the light is coming through. That makes it an agate. Where a jasper, on the other hand, here's a jasper. You know, the light will not shine through a jasper, but it will shine through an agate. Okay, so we start off with a tumbling barrel. We fill it about 2/3 full of rough rock, and then I'm going to add a little more water. And then we add the tumbling grit. By the way, you never want to pour the grit down a drain. That will plug it up real badly. So now, this is one brand of grit, polyplastic, 6090 grit, silicon carbide. This is the coarse, step 1 coarse. And it tells you, use 2 tablespoons per pound of rock. And since this is a 4-pound barrel and I have it approximately 2/3 full, we're going to round it up to 3 pounds. So I'm going to put 6 tablespoons of this grit in this barrel. Now, I have a box here of some grit. I tumble a lot of rocks, so I go through this stuff pretty fast. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and guess what? I'm adding 1 for good measure. All right. Now, as I mentioned, you don't want this grit to go down the sink. Okay, so I'm not even going to rinse it off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lid on it. Okay. You can even use a rubber mallet to pound it down, but I have a big strong fist. You tighten it up. Okay, this is ready to go. All right, we're gonna leave it right here. Let's not forget, this is course number 1. In fact, let's label it, because I can easily get myself confused. All right, so this is stage number 1. Okay, All right. Now what we have here is some rock that has been through the tumbling process of stage 1 already. So these are much smoother. They've been shaped. Stage 1 essentially shapes the rock. See, all the sharp edges are gone. It's already got quite a nice little smooth luster going on. Okay, so this is ready for stage number 2. This is about 2/3 full. Okay, and I filled it with water. Again, a 4-pound barrel. Let's look at the bottle. Step 2, medium, 180-220 grit silicone carbide, and it says use 2 tablespoons per pound. Same measurement as for stage 1. All right, here we go. So I'm going to use the same tablespoon. So I want to get off all of that grit from stage 1. Okay, all right. I don't want to contaminate. 1. And I always add 1 for good measure, okay? All right. Okay, we're going to put the lid back on it. So we snug this in so it's good and sealed. Rubber on rubber. I really like this brand of tumbler. It's called Lortone, and I've never had one leak on me. Okay. This is stage 2. I'm also going to put the date, which is November 11th. Okay, I'll write the date on this one, 2. Because we want to leave them in for a good period of time. And different people recommend different amounts of time. I find for stage 1, I leave them in for a good 3 to 4 weeks. Stage 2, about the same. Now let's go to stage 3. Here we have some rocks that have been tumbling through stage 1 and stage 2, and so they're really getting close to being final. Very smooth. That's a piece of petrified wood. That's a beautiful, oh, that's really a pretty agate there. Now what happens is they get smaller. So because they're smaller, they get even more tumbling. And in the final stage, stage 4, which is polishing, I will add some ceramic pellets to buffer and protect them so that they don't get worn down any further, just get a good polish on them. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the necessary grit for, we'll put this over here, for stage 3. Once again, step 3, pre-polish, 500 grit silicone carbide. This says 1 tablespoon per pound of rock, so it doesn't need as much. So I'm going to make sure this measuring spoon is good and clean. Okay, now this is a 3-pound barrel, so it has, typically if I were to fill it 2/3 up, then it would be 2 pounds of rock. It's not even, it's half. So I'm just going to put 2. Okay. All right. Got a little bit on my hand. Okay, very good. So, this is stage 3, put in on November 11th, and we have 3 barrels ready to go. Now let's take these barrels and put them on the tumblers, okay? So, let's start with this one here. All right, pick it up. We're gonna carry it to the garage. Now, normally my garage, I am very proud of keeping my garage very clean. It is not clean right now. It's not my fault. It's my daughter's fault. Because I helped her move back from college and her stuff is in the garage. So I'm not gonna show you the garage, but here's my little tumbling setup, okay? So we will put this right there, okay. And I'm gonna mark it. I don't wanna forget what it is. Okay, it's stage 1 and the date with my little scribbling so I can make sure that I move it to stage 2 in about a month. This here, this is full of large rock. They are all agates from Brian Head. You might have seen that video. So I'm really looking forward to opening that one up. Let's get the other barrels and we'll do the same thing. Okay. All right. So, here we go. So, put that right there. Okay. Sometimes I have to level them a little bit. All right. And now we are going to go, by the way, all of these came from, hi Shadow. All of these, well not all of them, most of these came from Brian Head. Look at that beautiful agate. Look at that one. These I need to wash. They look a lot better when they've been washed up. That's another thing, when you're rock hounding, you might want to take a bottle of water with you. That's petrified wood. But when you take a bottle of water with you, as you saw when I was showing the rocks to you and they were wet, they look a lot more lustrous and you can see the colors and so forth. Okay, and now we're gonna grab this one here. This is stage 3. And we're gonna take it into the garage. Okay. All right, we are good to go. We have 4 tumblers going. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. That's also stage 1. Okay, now I'm gonna show you what these look like. Let's turn off this light. Once they come out of the last stage, which is the polishing stage, I have a whole bunch of them. Here's some right here. These are beautiful jaspers. Look how shiny. Here's some more. I love this one. I think that's just gorgeous. These are white quartz. I polished these, but I have to admit, I purchased the raw stone from Madagascar. So I've got all kinds here. These are hematite and, jasper, red jasper, banded together. They're attracted to a magnet. These are. Here's some from Brian Head that's been polished. Really beautiful stuff. Wait, look at this beautiful one. What do I do with all of these rocks that I tumble? Well, you'd be surprised how many of them make it into friends' pockets on their way out the door. This is an amethyst. I have more under here. Look at this. This is not polished, but this is azurite. azurite, and the back, the green one back there is malachite. This is a fossil. Isn't that awesome? And these are all these rocks I've polished. I give these to people all the time. That's called gypsum. I found that not very far from here. Comes out of the dirt just like that. Okay, so you now know how to tumble rocks. All you need to do now is get your mom to buy you a tumbler. Get a lower tone, 3A. That's what I recommend for a young man like you. Thanks for watching my videos. I hope this helped. See you later.